Welcome to r/MaliciousCompliance, where people conform to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. Hit the like and subscribe, and let's begin. We have 3 great stories for you today. The first story.
No broom for the ex, but she got the vacuum. A little over 9 years ago, the ex and I split up. You can only listen to somebody tell you that they are leaving so many times before you agree with them. And we were together for almost 25 years. More happened than that, on both of our parts. Like her response when I mentioned that I wanted to get another motorcycle. I sold my first one in 1999, so we could move. I told her I was thinking about getting another bike, and she replied that at least the house would be paid off when I died on it. She had left and took the car that I was paying for. She had never contributed a dime to it. It was getting towards winter, and I needed the car back. Yes, it's Texas, but it still gets cold in December and January. She finally drove it the 35 miles back to me, and I agreed to take her back to my son's place. She took the rest of her crap that was still at my house, and also took the vacuum and carpet scrubber. I found out later she took all of my spoons too, but the blue box store is around the corner. The first thing I told her when we got in the car was not to smoke. I quit a couple of years ago before, and really can't stand the smell of it. She wasn't happy, but she agreed. Silent car rides suck, and the radio wasn't much help. I tried to talk to her, and was getting one-word replies or just glares. I asked if she just wanted me to STFU and drive. She said that would be the best. You got it, lady. So begins 25 minutes of a very uncomfortable travel. I can hear her clenching the door handle so hard it sounds like it's cracking. She sees a sign for the rest area coming up and tells me to stop so she can have a cigarette. Fine, you got it. She gets out and sits her A on the little rock wall, smoking her cigarette and looking peeved. I sat in the car, playing on my phone and making a couple of calls. I hear a knock on the window and it's her. She tells me she wants her stuff and to leave her there. I ask if she's sure. She says yes. She can't stand to ride with me anymore. Okay, if that's what you want. I got her stuff out, including her vacuum, and left her A sitting at the rest area, looking like a homeless maid. Drove away, called my oldest she was living with, and told him he needed to pick up his mom. He laughed when I told him I left her sitting there.
The second story.
A very embarrassed lady. So, some years ago, I was doing a summer job, working for my mom as her secretary. She's a doctor. I never looked like my mom, and nobody knew I was her daughter. Patients just thought I was some intern or student. During all summer, this mean old lady came to the office almost every 2 days. Not to see the doctors each time, but to sort of hang out in the secretary's office and chat, or ask for test results, or whatever, but mainly to spend time and complain about everything. The usual secretary often indulges her because she's a regular, but she was in her holidays, and I was the only one she could talk to, and talk she did. She was racist, anti-everything, hypocrite, and above all, like I said, just plain mean. I always put up a facade with her, polite, smiling, and she seemed to love to teach life to a young girl like me. One day, she decided to talk very badly about her doctor, my mom. She thought I was new and didn't know my boss very well, and was bolder than usual. She said all sort of horrible things about her, trying to spread rumors about her carelessness or bad practice. Then, she asked me a medical question about her test results. Sweetly, I ask her if she wants me to call the doctor to ask the question since I'm not allowed to look her file. Oh, no, don't bother. The doctor never answers her phone. She just doesn't care. Me, Mrs. D, your well-being is important. You should have the answer you're looking for. Let me try. If she sees her secretary number on the phone, maybe she'll answer. So I picked up the phone and called her. When she responded, because she always responds or calls back, I looked the old lady in the eyes with my biggest smile and said, "Hi, Mom. I just had a long and interesting conversation with Mrs. D. She says she has some questions. Could you talk to her?" The face of this old hag, when she realized she talked about the doctor in front of her daughter, was priceless. And my favorite memory of this summer, my mom said to me that she didn't come back for 3 months and never talked again in front of any secretary.
The third story.
Threatened to cancel your account? No problem, buddy. It's already done. A couple years ago, I used to work at a call center for a popular company by the name of Netflix. I'm only name dropping because nobody works at the center anymore, due to the fact they laid everyone off who didn't want to move to another state. You would not believe the amount of abuse and stupidity I would have to deal with, unless you've worked at a call center, that is, on a day-to-day basis. Questions could range from, "So when do you guys install the Netflix?" to, "Can't you just make an account for me?" With my personal favorite being, "What's the email you're talking about? I only have Gmail." Worse being, "How could you take the money out of my account now? I can't feed my children." Anyways, dealing with abusive customers and having the entire site closed down eventually takes its toll. And near the end, I had little empathy for customers who were rude to me. There was one thing I loved about working there, however, We never had to try to keep customers or upsell them anything. And as long as we did the job correctly, our team leads would almost always back us up if a call was escalated. Then Netflix had its price hike and wasn't able to stream on older devices anymore due to technical issues. You could not imagine the amount of people calling to threaten to cancel because they believed we had the power to individually accompany their wants and needs. Cue malicious compliance. I had this particularly nasty lady whose account was on hold due to lack of payment. She initially called because she was outraged she would have to pay $2 extra in 3 months when the price hike took effect. Once I informed her she couldn't stream anyways due to the lack of payment, she yells, "What if I just go ahead and cancel my account then, huh?" And like everybody else who threatens this, they severely overestimate my ability to give a damn. She had already stated that she wanted to cancel the account, and that was all the permission I needed to close it. So, after her threat, I tell her, "There's no need, ma'am. I've already taken care of it for you," in my cheery call center voice that I only reserve for children and irate customers. She explodes at me and demands my supervisor. Now, like most call centers, all our calls are recorded, and our supervisors can go back and listen to any call. Since she had stated she's already wanted to cancel, albeit maybe a little sarcastically, I was in the clear. Turns out she really didn't want to cancel, but since her account was officially closed, she would not only need to pay the original amount to restart it, but the new price hike as well, since the system recognized it as a new account, whereas old accounts were slowly being price changed. Long story short, woman threatens to cancel her account over a price change and ends up paying more than she needed to in the first place. Bonus story. Sexist dress code. So I was substituting during the summer holiday for the nurse who stays in the office at my old job, in home nursing. When we worked in the office, we were supposed to wear our normal clothes. It was just my boss and I in the office, both men, and it was really a hot summer. My boss started talking up the importance of adhering to the dress code when not wearing uniform when we were in the office. The dress code stated that skirts were allowed, but no shorts. Quite obviously, he must have been referring to me, as I was the only one wearing shorts, and the only one except him walking around without a uniform. I read the rules and told him in no uncertain language that if he really wanted me to, I would come into the office in skirts for the rest of the summer, as nowhere does it mention that you have to be a woman to wear skirts. He never mentioned it again, so I didn't get a chance to. Would have done it in a heartbeat.
I hope you enjoyed these stories. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to know when the new videos come out.